What's up, y'all? I'm Carrie.
What's up, people? I'm Dee Dee.
And this is the Carrie and Dee Dee Show.
Yes.
So, this week was a big Michael Jackson week.
Oh my gosh.
Finally, after all this damn time, we are getting a court case on this Dr. Murray bitch. And this whole Michael Jackson death trial is coming up now. I'm tripped out to see Michael dead on that photograph that they had of him. I'm tripped out to hear that the doctor was recording Michael in the most private times. You know, right when you're giving him that stuff to go to sleep, you're recording what he's saying. It sounds suspect and a little conspiracy behind that.
If that's really him or not.
And I was sad hearing that. I was really sad hearing that. And I'm tripped out that the defense that he has is that Michael woke up and gave himself the lethal dose of propofol. And then I'm thinking, all right, if he did do that, which I doubt that he did, you're still the fault behind it because you shouldn't have left the fucking room. You shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. You killed Michael Jackson.
I think he should be held responsible for the death of Michael Jackson. Now, it has come out, and we all knew that Michael Jackson was a drug addict. I hate to say it like that.
I hate to say it.
I hate to hear pop, that. You know, most talented man
on the face of the earth.
And he was a drug addict. Now, he was a drug addict because at first I was like, Michael Jackson was taking these drugs. I can't believe this shit. He's responsible for his own death. Well, no, I don't think so. I think this man should be held responsible for the death of Michael Jackson because you gave him this medicine. You wasn't paying attention to what you was doing. You walked out of the room. You was on the phone. If the man was talking in a slurred speech, all this shit was happening, and you gave him more. You gave him like how many of those? All this shit, and then you killed this man. I don't care. And this is just my opinion. You guys can have your opinion of what you think about it, and that's cool. But my opinion on this is he should be held responsible for it because even though he was on drugs, you gave him the dose that fucking killed him. So you should be responsible. If I'm a doctor, if I was a nurse in the hospital, and somebody came in and they was on drugs, and I turned around to give them some drugs that ultimately killed them, they're going to be determining if I gave them the dose that actually killed them, or was it the medicine that they already had in their system. Was that what they would be trying to figure that out? And if it was determined that what I gave that person killed them, my ass would be going to jail.
Well, not if it was in that situation, because if you're a nurse and they lied to them, they don't have any drugs.
Well, I mean, and then this wasn't even in the hospital. This was at his house. He was not authorized to be giving him.
He wasn't even an anesthesiologist.
He was not authorized to give him that type of medicine. So he should be responsible.
He should be responsible, and he should go to jail for that.
He should.
And I don't know what the fuck is this whole manslaughter thing.
I just think
you killed this man. You walked out of a room with a man on anesthesia.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
What kind of motherfucker does that?
If I was not licensed or I was not licensed to do that, I would not have been doing that. That's fault number one. You should, and they say other people are responsible too. Where are they though? But he was the one that was there at the day on the fucking scene of the crime. He was at the scene of the crime. He was the one that gave him that medicine that ultimately that he died afterwards. So why shouldn't he be responsible for it? Right, you was there. And then they said he waited to call 911. You could have saved the man's life. You waited to call 911. There's a lot of mishaps that happen. And I just don't think that he should just get completely off. I think he should be held responsible for it because he was there and he gave him the medicine.
Why do these motherfuckers never have their shit together? First off, when you're on a job where somebody's life is at stake, why are you taking personal telephone calls? Your phone shouldn't even be a part of the deal. You're supposed to be sitting here watching this man sleep for 8 hours.
He probably got so used to giving him that shit and nothing happened. And so this time, something went wrong.
And where's your staff? Why you don't have another person there with you?
Right.
Just in case you go and take a piss or something, somebody's still there. anesthesia is not something that you fucking play with. I don't know who hooked him on that in the first place, because that's not something that he got on the street. All right, somebody, a doctor, had to give him that shit.
But
first time.
Now that part is where I feel like,
and like, who hooks a person on anesthesia?
But this is where I feel like, look, when Michael Jackson had to have all those surgeries and stuff like that, they give you anesthesia. Maybe he liked the way it felt or something. Now this is where I feel like he was responsible for his life and going in that direction, because he could have at any point of him being alive, he could have went to get some help, got himself off of that shit and got better and been alive now. That's where I feel like it's his fault. But the incident that caused that, where he died, I feel
That's
like
Dr. Murray's
that
fault.
man is responsible. Michael Jackson does have he had a responsibility for he had some part to play in it, because it is his life and he was on them drugs and he could have gotten help. So that's where he's responsible. But on that day that he died, where this man gave him that medicine, he is responsible for that. He killed him. He gave him too much shit.
Like,
he shouldn't have given. I would have been too afraid to give this man all this shit. I don't care if he even asked for it. I don't care if he asked for it. I would have been too afraid to give that to him, because I knew if something happened to him, this is going to be a big ordeal, because you're Michael Jackson. I would have been even more cautious dealing with Michael Jackson. So maybe he just got so comfortable, he felt like, oh well, it's no big deal, whatever. He used to doing it. Man, that man should get some time. I don't think he should walk away.
This all seems like a setup to me.
I don't think he should walk away, but who knows? He might walk away. I don't think he should. I think he should be held responsible for the death of Michael Jackson. I really do.
Yeah, he is responsible regardless of whether or not he needs to pay for it, though.
Yeah, I mean,
he needs to pay for his negligence, because even if you're doing this, you should not have walked out of the room. It's anesthesia.
Right.
Everybody knows what anesthesia does. Everybody knows that you need oxygen. You out of the fucking room for 10, 15 minutes. I've never taken a 10-minute piss. I've never taken a 10-minute piss. I don't know anybody taking 10-minute pisses.
No.
Especially a man.
10-minute pisses, something must be wrong.
Yeah. Well, you took a 10-minute piss. He took more than, well, it was 20 minutes he was missing. 20. So it's like, you took a shit too? I mean, you're supposed to drop and go. You got somebody on anesthesia
watching him. It's like, that's crazy.
There's oxygen tanks. There's anesthesia. There's pills galore. All this shit. Who the fuck was counting the dosages in here? Who's saying, all right, Mike, this ain't enough?
So bottom line,
I gave you all these pills and you can't go to sleep. Hold on, maybe
I can't do no more. I would have to stop and say, wait a minute.
Well, you're gonna die in here tonight.
I can't give you this
morning.
I would have had to have done. Maybe he should have called the ambulance before and brought them there and said he's on.
Maybe he should have been the one to ring the bell.
Get him to the yes.
Ring the bell. Fuck yes. Mike, you ain't going to sleep now.
Ring the bell.
I'm gonna have to come out on you, and now people gonna be watching.
Maybe they should have.
What about people that work for you? People, I know he had to have some buddies or something. Somebody that said, Mike, you know, this is bad business.
He's Michael Jackson. He's famous. He got the money. He's the authority. They gotta listen to what he say. That's why I feel like he was responsible for his life too, on that level. But as far as, you know, him dying the way he did and this man there, I couldn't feel right just excusing him and saying, oh, he should be off the hook. No, you gave him the medicine that killed him, and maybe if you wouldn't have given it to him,
someone else would have.
Then someone else would have been responsible.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been your predicament.
Because he's not the only one that's giving Michael Jackson medicine. But he happened to be the one there giving it to him when he died. Gave him too much. So you can't just walk away. It was going to be somebody, unless he administered it to himself and he was found in his house by himself, like a lot of the other ones. You know, either in a hotel or in your house somewhere. Then that would have been all on him. Then there wouldn't be, you know, an issue of who killed him. It would have been automatically on him. You know, I just couldn't get hooked up in that. You know, I don't care how much money is involved. This man, but Michael Jackson was the authority. If he said it, that's why he had all that anesthesia in there. That's why he had oxygen tanks. That's why he had all that shit in there. A normal person, they wouldn't even let you get that. How did he get his hands on that? He got connections because of who he is and the money.
They're walking around saying that Michael Jackson was broke.
I think he's responsible.
Well, where was he getting his money for this anesthesia?
He's able to get it.
So he don't have enough money to pay for his hotel bills, but he got This sounds like a setup. How
Well,
you gonna
look.
give him money for his drugs, but not let him have
Yeah,
money
because these
to
drugs, y'all
get
know
that hotel room?
these drugs are gonna kill him. You know what the shit.
I'm
But
like,
it
this
depends
is
on
wild.
the people, baby. That all I know is when you have money like that, you have some kind of power. When you have connections, you're gonna get the drugs and you get the shit that you want. So it's like, look, if you come to me and I don't want to sell you the drugs, or you just go, I'm not being involved with that. But somebody else will give it to you. They'll give you what you want for the right amount of money. But I wouldn't do it because I don't want to be linked. If something happens to this man, they're going to be coming looking for me saying, did you do this? Did you give him? Did you? No, baby. I wouldn't
And
have
it
a
just
part.
seems weird because he wouldn't call the ambulance.
No, because he knew he fucked up.
He
He
wouldn't
did
pronounce
something
him
wrong.
dead on scene. That's what they said. You need to pronounce him dead now because he's dead. You take him all the way to a hotel, to the hospital, and then pronounce him dead 2-3 hours later. He's already been dead.
You said that. Remember that?
Yeah.
I bet he was already dead. He was
But
already
when
dead.
my wife, we was watching
crying my
it, she
ass
crying.
off.
I'm looking and I'm like,
Oh,
either
gosh.
he's faking or he's already dead.
You said that, and then he was already dead. He didn't die. That man was dead in that, and they was trying to beat his chest and get him alive. It's like because I bet he wished he could have got him back. So this could have all been blown over, and nobody wouldn't have ever known. I'm pretty sure he almost died several times.
He was already long gone before they even got him to the hospital.
Yeah,
And I
that
think
man
this
was
bitch need
already
to be put in jail.
And then they say he was in a coma.
And this manslaughter thing should be murder one.
Yeah, I
Because
just
first
know he
off,
should
you
be.
didn't have the legal right to have that medication.
No.
You shouldn't have been giving him that. If I was caught with fucking what is that shit? Propofol. You know you're gonna put me in jail.
Yes.
This bitch he should be in jail for illegal drugs.
You couldn't get no anesthesia if I needed it and I wanted to go to sleep. You couldn't go get no anesthesia and break it
As
up.
bad as I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, could I get some anesthesia for you?
No.
Because you really need to go to sleep. But can I get anesthesia?
Fuck no.
And let you rest and watch you all night with some oxygen?
No, nobody would. Doesn't even go down.
No, so it's like
I wouldn't even want to go to sleep like that.
I wouldn't even want you to go sleep like
cosmetic surgery before, and I ain't even lying.
Anesthesia.
When you wake up, it don't feel like I've been rested
right.
sleep. It's like, whoa, where the fuck have I been for these last few hours?
You just was in another state.
You really cut me like that, bitch.
But basically, this man needs to be held responsible. I don't think he should just walk off for free. I think he needs to be.
And I'm so fucked up about this taking almost 2 fucking years. Or it's been 2 years for
How long is it going to take
till
this is all over? I'm going to be watching, though.
I'm going to be watching. We're going to have our eye on this. And,
he needs to be held responsible because he shouldn't have been doing that.
And I hope that he ends up in a really nice place where there are a lot of Michael Jackson fans. Y'all have a good day. Bye.